In today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what it looks like to run a $1 million ad account over on Meta and generate $3 million in sales via Shopify in 12 months. And you can see a before and after from when I started with this brand to where they are currently now. And I'm going to dive in now. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will get back to you. All right, I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like with 12 months to get to $3 million with an ad account with only 2 campaigns, spending $1 million. Just so you guys can see, it is the last 365 days. This is the financial year in Australia, and I'll actually show you guys what it looks like pre-working with someone like myself. So they started in May. We started around this date here by the look of it. So we had a bit of a launch. They did okay. Not too bad for the first month, 23,500 Australian dollars. We go to June. I think they did a bit better again on that front there. So they did 31,000, which is still pretty good. You know, good jump up there. And it was in July that they actually engaged my services and I helped them out grow straight away. As we can see, we went straight from that to 74,000. Big jump there. We increased again in August, which is great. We went to 151. There was a bit of an issue going into September that because of the growth rate that we had and the structure I put in place on the ad account, they actually sold out, which is a good and a bad thing. They lost a bit of market share, but we were able to claw that back. And as you can see in September, they still did pretty good. They did 131,000, but you know the trajectory that we were going on, it was much higher rate there. So as you can see, it's a good outcome for them. And as you can see, yeah, so we sort of came in around there, July, 74,000. We had 151. It was 130. Then we went to 252, 419,000. A bit of a dip in that December period and then peaking back up again. And then in May, we had another $431,000. So great angle there. And then, yep, again at May, mid to late May, there was another stock issue, which is that causing that drop off again. This one was actually out of their control. It was a bunch of other issues that they had to face. So unfortunately, it's just how it is. But I'm going to take you guys into the ad account. So as I said before, it spent $1 million in this ad account. It's 2 campaigns. It's a simple structure. I'm going to walk you through the lucid chart so you guys can actually see that and what it looks like. So we have the product, we have our creative testing campaign, and each ad set themselves has to have a theme, and each angle inside of that is generally 3 to 4 angles I try to test. Sometimes I have more, but generally I try to keep it 4-ish is probably my sweet spot, and then I just sort of build it out from there. So these are the hooks that I was testing inside of that, and the angle. We might have this may be a problem-based angle, this may be a solution-based angle, and this may be a product-based angle. What I do in here as well is once these are spending, they're not going to move into my core scaling campaign until they've spent 5 times the daily budget of the CPA for a 7-day window. Once they've done that, I move them straight into this core scaling, and sometimes it's only 1 ad that works from here. Sometimes it's all 4. Others it's 2 or 3. So it doesn't bother me as long as these ads have had a decent spend behind them. CPA is holding strong. I do put them into my core scaling campaign. And to preface, this core scaling campaign only has winners, broad targeting. The testing creative theme here is generally a little bit more towards the best ages, so I can really identify what's working there. And then the core scaling itself is really broad, and I allow the creative to do a lot of that targeting as well. So in here, it's really just these ad sets. Some of them will have just age-based targeting, so say 20 to say 55. Others may have 18 to 65 plus. It's really depending on what that creative is trying to do there. So I use the creative to do the targeting. As you can see, yeah, they go into our core scaling campaign here. This is scaled up and just keeps adding budget, 30% every 72-ish hours. And I don't never, ever put any sale campaign in here because it's going to muddy the water. And when I turn them ads off that are, say a sale, for example, these ads here that are evergreen are just going to tank and it's not going to be fair. So only winners in here. I just bleed these out. I let it run as long as possible. So say, for example, I'm spending $500 a day here on this theme, and these are a couple of winners. I'm going to keep this running as well until it dies, but the winners will get moved into this core scaling campaign, and then I just rinse and repeat. So there'll be sprint 1, this will be the theme, sprint 2, theme again in here, sprint 3, theme again in here. So, and they all have angles as well. I do copy the post ID from these winners as well, and it does go into this core scaling, so it keeps it nice and simple with all that engagement, all that power, so that it gets into this and it starts running. You will generally also see that most of the ads that you put into a winning campaign, it will take a little bit longer for it to start to spend. And that's purely just down to Facebook's already got a bunch of winners. It will slowly start to increase budget to those to sort of test the waters on that front as well. But yeah, just be mindful that you may have a bit of volatility when it first gets in there. Let it spend some money. Understand that it's still going to do well. It has been tested below, so don't stress too much on that. Bit of a core scaling 1.0 that I have as well on the side is any brands that have some sort of bundle upsell that I can put in there as well. So for example, if it is a clothing brand, I'm going to put in a hoodie and a jumper, or it might be 2 hoodies, or it might be, sorry, not a jumper. It might be a hoodie and some joggers. They might be 2 for $100, and I might get 2 hoodies for $100, and I might get 2 joggers for $100. I'm going to split test all the different bundles and upsells in here in this campaign. A little bit of a winner here on this front as well is a little bit of the winner on this front here as well is how I structure my sale campaigns. And this is the same setup that I use for every business that I manage ads for. Sale campaign is a separate campaign. I don't want to dirty any waters in my current evergreen campaigns. So this sale campaign will be BFCM. It can be related to anything else that they're going to have during the year if they've got any other sale campaigns. But all the sale campaigns have their own campaign themselves. Just a bit of a tip here that I've found over the years of working in ad accounts is it's great to have Black Friday, Cyber Monday messaging on all that sort of creative. If you have a sale anywhere else within the ecosystem of that period of year, make sure it's not, or try not to tie it directly to an event like winter or summer or autumn or spring sale. Try to use the words like super sale or something very broad. That allows you to run those ads in those ads in February, and also run those ads in August, for example, if you needed some extra cash to be injected into the business for that period. So you don't have to worry about which ads do we need to make again, and a bunch of that. It's just very, very simple. Keep the campaign, keep that messaging similar. Try not to use dates inside those ads as well. And you can always turn them on and turn them off if the business does need a bit of a cash injection as well. So inside this sale, I will do a deeper video on this one, but generally what I do is UGC creatives with sale messaging, best organic ads with sale messaging. I always test dollar amount off, dollar amount saved, percentage off, and percentage saved. That allows me to test what does the market like with this brand. Some businesses and their consumers love an easy percentage off. Some of them want to see it as how much they've saved. Some want to see it now, from this price to this price. So test that out yourself in those sort of creative fronts there. But the idea is to, get the ground running with those sale campaigns. So let's rewind. We have a creative testing campaign. We have our ad sets. We have our ads. We have 4 to 5 angles in each one. The winners go into our core scaling, and with this one just gets budget cranked all the time. And then in here, this one just gets cranked as well. So we crank it up until the 5 times the CPA. We'll let it bleed it out. The winner's going to here. That's as simple as it needs to be. You don't need to overthink it. And as in here, this is all broad, and it's generally 1 to 2 SKUs as long as they're closely aligned to each other. So I'm going to jump into the Ads Manager and actually show you what it looks like. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it, for some reason, my video is not working on this page, so I'm just going to jump into it straight away. As you can see, we've got our testing campaign here on all products. We spent $346,000 in the last 12 months. Our core scaling campaign has spent $686,000 here. Just so you guys can see, we've actually just got one campaign, one ad set, and it's full of all the absolute bangers. So this is nice and broad, 1865 sales, manual placements. There's a few placements here that this brand really doesn't want to be on, which is fine. So we do that. And there are no exclusions. We just want as many people as possible because a lot of people will do so much segmentating onto, I don't want to hit repeat customers. But everyone has to pay for a repeat customer at some point. If you're at a supermarket, they will generally send you an email or they will send you some kind of pamphlet in the mail. They know that you have to come back and eat, but they're still spending money on you, showing you the offers they have. So don't be so restricted on, I've just got to get new customers and I have to have all these new customers coming in this campaign. Keep it broad because that helps Facebook understand who the people are, and it can really maximize your ability to scale the absolute chaos into these accounts. So we spent $686,000 in this one, and in our testing campaign in here, we've got a bunch, and I mean a bunch of tests that have been happening. There has been 63 different creative tests at this current time. We run sprints. We're up to sprint 5 at the minute for this one. And then each ID has it there as well. So we can really identify the creative. We can really identify what works, what didn't work, why did it work. You must always have a creative changelog and testing platform so you can identify what is the needle mover, really. And as you can see here, they're all in there. It's very simple here. It's AU, it's male and female, it's 20 to 64-year-olds. We found people under 20 didn't really purchase too well, so that's fine. Broad sales, all placements. We are excluding 30-day purchases on this and the subscriber list just to sort of try and keep it as clean as possible with that data. And then this is a little key here. This little one here that's always pinned is my organic content. Once a month, I will ask the brands to send me 4 to 5 pieces of their best performing organic content. And I use that and I grab the social IDs and I put them into here and I run them as a test. As you can see, this has spent $154,000 in 12 months. I just let it run. It doesn't bother me. I make sure that we're still within CPA and I just crank it. And sometimes the ads do really well as an organic, from an organic post to an ad. Sometimes they don't. The ones that do very well, I actually use that information to create better sprints and go down a bit of a rabbit hole to try and understand what the thing is in that theme. So let's jump back. So as you can see, I'll move myself back around here. As you can see, it's a very simple structure. Don't overthink it. It's 2 campaigns, $1 million have been spent, $3 million in revenue. It's a great setup to have for literally any business. As you can see, they started at 23,000. Towards the end, we were doing, $300,000-$400,000 per month. Very simple structure. Don't overthink it. If you guys have anything that you want to learn more about around this structure or how I set up creative testing, just drop in the comments and I'll make sure that I make a video for you. I will be dropping some actual information around the softwares that I use. So stay tuned for those and I'm going to do my best to sort of keep this content coming.